Hi there, welcome to Arundel Guitars. Today we are going to be redoing the body on this lovely Relic Telecaster. This is one of my absolute favourites, but it's a heavy bugger. So I've got a new slab of wood, which is much lighter than this ash. It's a piece of alder, and we're going to take this to bits, redo the body, re-relic it, and see how it goes. So I made this guitar in about August of 2021. Absolutely lovely piece of kit. Everything's hand done on it. So we've got the Telecaster bridge and neck pickups that are completely hand wound by myself. All of the relicking of the hardware is done. All of the body was done, and she's pretty. However, she's a big girl. She's going to lose some weight. And there we are, naked as the day she was born. Right then, let's take this away. Get some measurements off, get a template sorted, and let's go make a new body. Okay, so there's everything off the body. What I've got here is the original template. That's gonna obviously just be there. If you haven't got one of these, you can use the body to route the template again. But I have. I've got the routing cavities here for internal and external, and a whole new piece of alder, which currently weighs 4.1 pounds. It's a hell of a lot lighter already. So we're going to give that a whirl. Let's get going. Okay, so that's cut to shape. I have noticed there's a couple of areas here and here that I've just marked up because the template's looking a little bit worn. So if I was to actually use a flush trim router against those, you'd end up with a really wobbly edge. So I've just marked those up so when I put it on the router now, I know not to do those and I can just sand them down flat. And there we go, after a bit of sanding we have a Telecaster body blank, or Tele body blank, T-style body blank. I've just marked up the string positions, and there we go, that's part one done. Okay, minor issue. The original template, as I was taking it off, died. So I've just popped on a bit of plywood, cut round onto the original body. So now we have a body template, a new one. So what I want to do now is make sure I've got the neck cavity, the pockets, all carved into this. So I'm just going to have to do a little bit of routing to reverse engineer these. So we'll get on with that next. Okay, so there's the template routing off. Happy days. That's going to sit on there. Now, the most important bit about that, to be honest with you, is the neck pocket. That's pretty much it. These I'm going to route out this so as it'll fit a larger cavity anyway, so as I could potentially put in a humbucker or a P90 in there. This one, it's a Tele style guitar, so I'm always going to keep that the same. This is a bit rough around the edges, but I've got the templates for this here, so I'm going to use this to mark up on the body for the approximate location, and I'll do this last. So this is the original neck. That pocket absolutely fits in there like a glove, so that's pretty much all I'm interested in at the moment. So I'm going to stick this on, route the neck cavity, and then get on with these individually. Okay, so using that roughly fashioned template, we've got a neck pocket and a position for each of the pickups. So the plan of action now is to cut these down to depth, make sure that everything fits in quite nicely. Okay, so the neck pocket is cut. That fits in like a glove. Oh, we like. Okay, so without wanting to bore you too much, I've routed out the depths of these cavities now, so they're easy going to house any pickups. Now what I'm going to do is turn this one into a larger cavity, this one into a larger cavity, so as it can potentially house a P90 and or a humbucker. So I'm going to make this cavity much larger. Obviously that is all going to be hidden underneath the scratch plate, but it gives it a bit more variability. Okay, and now there's that big cavity at the top there for a P90 or a humbucker, or even just the single coil that's in there. I'm keeping that one the same. Now we need to put the cavity in down here, and for that I'm just going to go and mark everything up with the original hardware. Alright, so now that all those pockets are cut, I think the best thing I can do now is make sure that everything is fitting properly. So that's going to sit on there into that neck pocket. I'm just going to have to tuck those in there for a minute, because I haven't got a cavity here yet. I can't poke anything through. So I'll just give these a little whiz up. And those can sit under there. You're going to go comfortably. Look at that screw in there. Comfortably into there. The neck is going to sit there. So the next thing to do is make sure that I've got my drill holes in the right place. That's all good. Done that already. So let's pop those screws in. Where's my drill? There's my drill. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and 8. You really don't want to watch me screw all these in. I'll put you on time now. Okay, so that's screwed on. I want to make sure, obviously, that all the string placements and everything are nice and in alignment, because there is a teeny bit of play in that. So I just want to do that. that is marked up. So now I know where the top of the external cavity goes for that. Right, just a little bit of playing to make sure that everything's good, and then we can start finishing off. So for the purposes of making sure the neck's nice and aligned, this particular bridge also comes with hardtail strings, so I don't have to sod around with any of the through body bits at the moment. So I'll just grab the pack of strings that I'm going to use. And if the plan of action is going to be just to make sure that everything's got on the alignment, because if I've cut the neck pocket wrong, then I'm a silly bugger. But we shall remain quietly confident until we realise we've buggered it up. So let's have a little look. Get in there, you little bit. Remember, this isn't attached at all at the moment. I just want to get this in as good a position as we possibly can. So realistically, that's going to do the job quite nicely. Just tighten you up for a wee moment so you get the straightest line possible. Stay. And then we'll pocket you through there. Pocket you through there. Now I'm not using the middle screw position, so we remove this one. Come on. There's the fiddliest bit out of the bloody lot. Come off. Put the world's longest M3 screw on there with the world's shortest spring. I shall change that. So I can see here with a bit of tension on there that that's the position we want to be in for my primary screw. And there's plenty of real estate on both sides, so that's the position for my screw. Just use a 2mm screw for a pilot hole. It's a bit tight because I've only used a 2mm screw. Let's have a little dabble of that. Good old WD-40, use it for blooming everything. And then we will put you in the middle of the camera, as you can see what I'm doing. And the plan of action is to get that screw without that bit of fluff on. And now I know that my string alignment is on the money. Things are progressing as I would hoped without cocking it up. So with that position, what we've got is nice string alignment either side, plenty of room to play, everything looks in good alignment. Let's move on. Okay, so what I've done is put the bolts on just to make sure we're in the right spot. I'll put the plate on very shortly, which is just sat there. But everything is nice and aligned again, so we are well happy. Okay, so just with a little bit of measuring, that top line is obviously the line that I drew from the pick guard. I've just put in the external and the internal routing templates and just drawn into them. So now I've got a good idea where to pop the router, and then we'll just get those cavities done. Okay, so those cavities are cut. Let's just check that everything is where I want it to be. So you can just perk through there again. And you can go on there. I'll just pop a couple of screws in so it'll get in place. I reckon 3 will do us. So there. Get me. There. And actually that's quite very solid as it is. Stick one up the top there. And you are going to go into there. Oh, it's beautiful. Bloody marvellous. Why does it not go like this every time? Oh my God, that's blooming lovely. All right, we got it all working. So everything's back in the positions where it's supposed to be. Looking the business, like so. Next thing is it needs an output jack down there. I'll just drill a hole for that one. And then that's all the woodworking done, minus perhaps a little bit of just a little round over on each side, just because these are straight off the sander. And then that's it, that's the body carved and done, and then we're on to painting after that. Beautiful.